Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life here for Spiegel Mom Scraps, and I just want to apologize because half of this video gets cut out, but what you missed is pretty basic. All I did was I punched out some circles with one of my circle punches, and then I used some watercolors that I just mixed together on my own and just traced around the circles with the watercolors so that there was some background. I am playing with a sketch that is from Christina and Sarah, who are also fellow sparklers. They are hosting a challenge called Rediscover Your Stash 40-Day Challenge, and the whole point is to not spend any money and just use your stash. And this was one of the sketches that was on one of the challenges, so I'm just working with this sketch here, and I don't follow it exactly, but I like the circles, so I followed that part. Now my photo here, to link it back to the 90s, is my favorite movie growing up, which was Now and Then. I watched this movie non-stop, and I remember I didn't own this movie, so my dad would have to literally take me down to the grocery store where you used to be able to rent movies. There's a whole section just for renting movies, and it's always the one I would pick out. And it was so funny because we'd go and you return it and they put it back on the shelf, and it takes them like 5 minutes. And I used to go return it, and then while we were walking around the grocery store, by the time we circled back, we would be back by the movies. And I used to be able, I think every weekend I was allowed to rent a movie, and I would go back and just rent the same movie. So pretty funny. I love this movie though. It was definitely one of my favorites, and I just wanted to document that, kind of document the times, and it was just fun. The layout itself doesn't have a very 90s theme to it. It's just more talking about a 90s thing that I remember. So I've also backed this photo with just some scraps from I made a small stash kit, and I'm just using up some of that. And then I'm also going to use up some Spiegel Mom scrap stuff. So the first thing is this glossine bag. I had done some stenciling with some shimmers on that bag, and it was probably one of the first projects I'd ever done for Spiegel Mom Scraps, and it just didn't make it on a layout, and I've been holding on to it ever since then, so like a year now, and I finally got that, so I just used it as a kind of a fun layering piece. And then I'm going to use these cork stars because I love them so much, and I'm also going to use the Hot Right Now sequins. Now, I'm not exactly sure if you can still get these in the shop. They might have a few, and I think she might be discontinuing these ones. I can't quite remember. I might be thinking of Amy's Sprinkles. But if they are in the shop, I'll make sure to leave a link because they're really, really pretty. And I'm just going to pull out all of the blue ones, and then also there's little gold stars in the sequence pack too, which is what I loved about it. And I'm just going to make little circles here. So I'm just tracing 3 of the circles, and one of them is going to be with this blue, the other one's going to be with the stars. And then I also grab a Holiday Tradition sequence pack, which was really fun, and it's got some green tones to it, tealy green tones, and I'm going to use that as well, and that's just going to trace everything in the 3 circles. So I'm showing you what the first one looks like, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the other 2 as well. This was a little daunting. It did take me a little while to get it all done, but I love the effect of it in the end, and I really figured like it was the perfect touch, and it kind of brought a little sparkle and shine to my layout, because it's not embellished at all, other than using my Spiegel Mom scratch stuff and my title, which isn't that exciting either. It's just called Movie Perfect, and I kind of had to fix a few letters, and so you're just seeing me show you the final pieces of that, but I really like the way that turned out. I'm going to just add these 2 little pieces, and that is going to be my final touch. So a really quick layout, but I had fun with this layout, and it was fun to do, and it's simple, but sometimes that's all you need. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Don't forget you can use my code Christy15 to get yourself 15% off at the shop if you're shopping this week, and I'll be back next week with another episode. Bye everyone.